Esio Trot, Chapter 2. Back in his flat, Mr. Hoppy was simply quivering all over with excitement. "Your slave for life," he kept repeating to himself. What bliss! But there was a lot of work to be done before that happened. The only furniture in Mr. Hoppy's small living room was a table and 2 chairs. These he moved into his bedroom. Then he went out and bought a sheet of thick canvas and spread it over the entry living room floor to protect his carpet. Next, he got out a telephone book and wrote down the address of every pet shop in the city. There are 14 of them altogether. It took him 2 days to visit each pet shop and choose his tortoise. He wanted a great many, at least 100, perhaps more. And he had to choose them very carefully. To you and me, there is not much difference between one tortoise and another. They differ only in their size and in color of their shells. Elfie had a darker shell, so Mr. Hoppy chose only the darker shell tortoise for his great collection. Size, of course, was everything. Mr. Hoppy chose all slugs of different sizes, some weighing only slightly more than Elfie's 13 ounces, only a great deal more, but he didn't want any that weighed less. "Feed them cabbage leaves," the pet shop owners told him. "That's all they'll need, and a bowl of water." When he had finished, Mr. Hoppy, innocent sentence, had bought no less than 140 tortoises, and he carried them home in baskets, 10 or 15 at a time. He had to make a lot of trips, and he was quite exhausted at the end of it all, but it was worth it. Boy, was it worth it! And what an amazing sight his living room was when they were all in there together. The floor was swirling with tortoises of different sizes, some walking slowly about exploring, some munching cabbage leaves, others drinking water from a big shallow dish. They made just the finest rustling sound as they moved over the canvas sheet. But that was all. Mr. Hoppy had to pick his way carefully on his toes between his moving sea and the brown shells whenever he walked across the room. But enough of that. He must get on with the job. Before he retired, Mr. Hoppy had begun a mechanic in a bus garage. And now he went back to his old place for work and asked his mates if he might use his old bench for an hour or 2. What we had to do now was to make some things that would reach down from his own tortoise. This was not difficult for a mechanic like Mr. Hoppy. First, he made 2 metal claws or fingers. and these he attached to the end of the long metal tube. He ran to sleep further down inside the tube and connected them to the metal closing such that when you pull wires, the close, and when you push them, the close open. The wires were joined to a handle at the other end of the tube. It was all very simple. Mr. Hoppy was ready to begin.